Hi everybody, this is Darcy. I'm going to share with you my story of tragedy, loss, and rebirth today. I'm going to start it out by going way back in time to when I was fighting my way out of the womb. I came out of my mother's womb kicking, screaming, chewing on my fist and demanding to be fed. I want to be seen and I wanted to be heard. I was told my entire childhood how much I was wanted, how much I was loved, how special I was. And I grew through my entire life carrying that information with me and striving to be all that I could be. Jump forward into my late 40s, and I'm a accomplished equestrian headed for the Olympics. I have the most magnificent dance partner in my Grand Prix horse that anybody could ever hope for. He wasn't only my equestrian partner, but he was as close to a soulmate as you can get. Tragically, one day he passed after a 10-day battle that went on and on and on. I was devastated. I'd had loss in my life. I'd lost my father. I'd lost my mother, lost a lot of animals and horses and pets. But nothing ever hit me like this had hit me. I was unconsolable, and this went on for months and months. I didn't ride anymore. I didn't participate in life anymore. I just didn't care about anything, and I couldn't dig my way out of this hole. I was just spending my days wandering around the ranch, asking the universe to share with me the truth behind the pain and the emptiness and the void in my heart, and how asking why I couldn't get back to a place of balance, of center. And I grounded and I journeyed and I did all the things that I had been taught for years, and there was just no way out of it. My husband was exceedingly supportive, but he also was at a loss of, what happened to my wife? Is she ever going to come back? So I hadn't even been online for a long time. I just stepped out of humanity. And so one day I opened up my email or my Facebook page, and there was a post in there from my Cherokee shaman teacher, and it said, "The eagles are gathering." And it turns out that she was inviting all of her students up to her property for a retreat. And I just simply responded, "Wish I could be there." Immediately, she got back to me and said, "Get here now." And with the support of my husband, I jumped in my truck and headed north to spend 2 or 3 days up there at her farm. She knew what was going on when I got there without me even having to speak. She could feel my pain, and she could feel the lack of balance. And so the very next day, she said, "The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to go to the Hogan, and I'm going to do a journey for Darcy." So we all went to the Hogan the next morning and saged and went inside, and I laid down, and the drumming all around me seemed to be bringing some life back. But I also knew, as all shamans know, that we have to fight through a lot of pain, and we have to continually dig deep to refine ourselves. And a lot of it is about doing a lot of inner work, and I knew this would probably be the most difficult inner work I would ever do in my life. Anyway, when she was finished, she said, "I brought you back some pieces." And I knew immediately that the pieces had come from my mother. And she said, "When you were born, you were not wanted. You were seen as something that was getting in your mother's way of her life and her career. And you came out with such strength and such determination and such, self-esteem. You knew when you came out you were special. But what she led you to believe was false. And when I was born, my mother took half my heart, which through the journey my teacher had blown back into my heart. And she had also taken half of my hair, which is interesting because ever since I was a tiny little girl, I've always worn my hair pulled back. trying to keep my right and left brain connected, obviously. My teacher also said that had it not been for my life with the horses, where my heart was immersed in them and their love, and especially my Grand Prix horse Big, who was all solid love and heart, I probably would have died somewhere along the way, because no one can live with half a heart, and no one can live unbalanced in the right and left sphere of the brain. And I felt, of course, angry, very angry. How could I have been betrayed by my own mother? And I had always known through my life that her needs and her desires for her future were much more important to her than anything else in the life. Her standing in society and putting you on kind of off to the side so that she could shine was a repetitive thing that happened every day. But the realization that all of my beliefs growing up and through my first half of my life were false, it made me very angry. And it took several days to process through this. I think I've pretty well cleared it, but it was a painful and agonizing situation. And I think it taught me a lot about looking at other people and realizing that, you know, what they're carrying around on their shoulder needs to be illuminated for them if they so choose. Not everybody had the opportunity that I had. And maybe that's part of the reason we're here, is to help illuminate other people's paths so they have a better understanding of, you know, why they're not feeling whole and why they're feeling pain, and that it goes so much deeper, and it can go back, you know, karmically through other lifetimes, which I've found through journeying. Anyway, that's my story, and thanks for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.